Joining us to talk about the new vaccine is Dr. Robert Citrenberg. He's the Executive Medical Director of Infectious Disease and Prevention at Advocate Healthcare. Good morning.
Good morning.
So there's this difference. The FDA tells people who can get the shot. The CDC says who should get the shot. Should everyone be getting a booster at this point? A lot of people have fatigue about these.
I can understand the fatigue. Although most people haven't gotten a shot in probably the last year and a half, or even 2 years. So the first step is the FDA approves the vaccines under emergency use authorization, which is what happened yesterday. Now today, CDC meets and they really make formal recommendations about who should get it. So we don't have the final answer yet, but we suspect that it's going to be strongly recommended for people who are older, people with chronic medical conditions, and those who are at risk for serious disease with COVID. And we've been through this before the last couple of years. And so we really want to target those people who are at risk of getting severely ill.
So are you saying that if people say, I don't want to get it, that the effects of these new strains of COVID aren't what we experienced early on?
Well, there's no doubt that the illness for most people is much less severe than it was 2 years ago or the beginning of the pandemic. And that's because of vaccination. People have been infected over and over again. So there is some population immunity, you have natural immunity. So for most people, the illness is not as severe, but we still worry about some people, older people, sicker people, who still can get very sick from it. So we are absolutely going to recommend the vaccine for those people who are most at risk for severe illness.
Is this like the flu shot where we're going off of last year's formula? What was the big flu last year, and this really might not attack the variants that are active now?
Well, it's very much like the flu shot. I think this is what we're going to be seeing year after year. It's going to be another flu shot. There'll be probably be a new vaccine every year that's designed against the strains that are circulating. Now, the new vaccine that was just approved is pretty active against the strains that are circulating now. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty good match. So I would expect that each year we'll see a new vaccine that reflects whatever strains are circulating.
Can you take it with the flu shot?
Yes, you can absolutely take it with the flu shot, and that's a good idea because some people only go to the doctor once, or they go to the pharmacy once. You can get both shots, you get one in each arm, and you're good to go.
And where are we on masks?
We'll never see another mask mandate, and I don't think we need to. Masks work best for those people who are at risk for getting very sick. You wear a high-quality, well-fitting mask, you are going to protect yourself against COVID. It doesn't work nearly as well when you ask the entire population to do it because people don't wear masks the proper way anyway. But for those people who are at risk for severe illness or anyone who's concerned about it, wear a high-quality, well-fitting mask like a KN95 or N95, and that will protect you very well.
Are any of these variants going to be as bad as the initial outbreak of this? Or is it just because it's been around and people are more immune to it now, it's not going to be as bad?
You can never tell what's going to happen in the future, but right now it looks like these variants do not cause a severe disease, partly because of what we call the fitness of the virus. As it mutates, it becomes less severe, and also because of the population immunity. People have had vaccinations, they've had the disease over and over again. Remember, back in 2020, nobody in the world had ever been exposed to this virus. Nobody had any antibodies. Now it's a completely different situation. So for most people, the disease is much, much less severe than it once was.
Dr. Citrenberg, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
On to other news now at 7:30.